And I remember once when I was 13 on the coast of North Carolina with my friend Adam Smith, my baseball teammate from the days when my dad coached us in Little League. I remember I'd been in Ohio for a year, I was about to move there, who knows, we were on the beach at night, just me and Adam. We had permission from our parents, and along the sand, there were all these big crabs, scary and disgusting. They would run sideways into these holes where the surf foam would pour in when the tide washed up. And we were going crazy from all these crabs and being alone in the dark night, and I felt this sick thrill all alone with these menacing tiny monsters. And I found this stick and we threatened them with it, and suddenly this one confronted us, just like that snake 5 years later in Florida in the trees with Reed. But at 12 or 13, I was stupid and a kid, and I slammed that huge stick on this brave crab and split its shell open. And I knew I'd hurt it. I felt a sudden jab of guilt, like a knife right up in my guts, and so I hit it over and over to end the pain and to end its life. And I remember I dropped the stick, and I ran, and I ran, and I was running, and I ran back to the house, and I ran upstairs, and I lied awake all night. I had murdered something living, this creature most unlike a person, a being with claws sent from the ocean, these living bodies that die near you. I dreamt last week of Max, my old family dog, for a long time. Weird how near bodies can be next to you in your dreams, bodies that we haven't felt in years. I remember the look he gave me in the car on the way to the animal hospital. I was cradling him in my arms like he was an infant, in a towel all wrapped up because his body was freezing. His neck was so weak it would fall back over my elbow, and suddenly he pulled it up with all his strength and he looked straight at me, his dark eyes burning with life, and he held his stare at me. He kept looking at me, and at first like he wanted to say something, and then like he had a question, and then he kind of was sort of at peace with himself and with me, and he went weak again until the vet put the needle in his leg. He was in my lap, and my mom was petting his back, and my sister was hugging my dad. Her head was turned from it all across the room, and then the vet began pushing that pink fluid. He suddenly raised his head like one of those lions outside the New York Public Library, just like that. He saved all the strength from the very end. And then when it happened, his head just fell on my thigh. My mom kept petting him. The thud was so light, like a paperback book that fell in your lap, so light. And at the Holiday Cocktail Lounge jukebox, you can play Bruce Springsteen, and every time Atlantic City would come on, my sister would look at me. Such a tense song. Everything dies, baby, that's a fact, but maybe everything that dies someday comes back. I've never been to a funeral. I wanted that vigil for Stefan Lutak. I wanted to attend my grandfather's funeral when I was 9, but my dad flew out of town for it. I was glad once to go to his grave in Oklahoma. And right when I first wrote this, your mother had a funny feeling, and she drove to Long Island to see your grandmother who was sick, who I had the privilege of meeting in January. We drove out there and got lost in West Hampton, where every road is called Old Country Road. And we finally found the place. She talked about her life to us, or to you. What do I know about what it feels like to lose someone? What do I know that you know? How can I learn it, to feel all those shades of love we carry around? Why do I want something I may not be strong enough to find out? I only know that funny feeling that your mother got, the one that made her go to Long Island. Remember Alamo Park near your apartment in San Francisco, looking over the Full House at the skyline and everything beyond that? And we stood there in this really quiet moment, and I said, what if we were time traveling and seeing ourselves from 20 years in the future, and we were back in our bodies, we had just fallen into them, and we were 48 years old, remembering this trip to San Francisco when the recession was just beginning, when these people we loved so dearly were still alive, and when our bodies were young as they ever were, when we were in the best health of our lives, we ate so well, and looking at the skyline, it seemed like something was both beginning and ending, and I said, think about what you'll miss in 20 years from your life now, that funny feeling I know, just like I know I'll never see Stefan Lutak again. I know I can't stay afraid of chaos, but I am afraid of it. I know that being here tonight, I'm back in my old body, I'm living the past I'll be nostalgic for, I'm here from the future again, and so are you. We all are. We time traveled here, and here it is, New York, 2009, at the ground zero of the collapse of post-war America, the end of the empire, realizing we're in this together, even though it got like this because we felt we weren't. Watching the end of the privileges we took for granted all our lives, the overprivileged when we could run from everything that was strange and scary, the years we put into our bodies running. Sometimes I got that funny feeling that says you've got to say something right now while our bodies are strong. So take a deep breath here in the K&M bar, glass in your hand, notice the light. Roebling, Bedford, Colby Devereux presents Brooklyn, New York. The music right here to fill you up. Let yourself move a little right now. Feel your living body in your life that right now isn't yet a dream you had of a time you were living in New York when you were so close to something so ordinary, but it was so beautiful because it was so alive. Thanks.